Hey, Blayne Smith here, welcoming you back to Overkill Reviews, Banger's weekly metal review show. On a personal level, I just celebrated over a year of Twitch streaming. I play video games on Twitch and we listen to metal albums. It's great. I hope you'll come out, twitch.tv/metalcomedy. And hey, banger news, we're almost at 200,000 subscribers. It's a big, exciting number, and we want to get there. So, hey, if you're not subscribed, hope you get subscribed. And if you are, I don't know, share it with your friend or your mom or your aunt or your dog's respirologist or whatever. Just help us get to that exciting number. But enough with the business and the housekeeping. Let's get to some music. Before we start our review, let's get a take on the Greekification levels of this review. Yes, that's right, Greekification levels are at maximum because Rotting Christ is putting out the Heretics today, February 15th, on singular one season of Mist Records. So, in the Greek tradition, let's do some learning. Rotting Christ were formed in 1987, making them 1 year younger than me as a human. They're pretty much the godfathers of the whole Greek black metal scene. Other than that, there's not a lot new going on in their world. Same lineup as the past two albums, same 3-year gap between albums. They did get arrested in Georgia, the country, not the state, on terrorism charges simply because their name is Rotting Christ and someone put up a poster on a church. Full disclosure, this is a band I actually frequently overlook. I grew up in Toronto, Canada, which is extremely secular. So the anti-Christian bands, well, not offensive to me in any way, or I was kind of just like, does Christianity really even matter to anyone anymore? Well, the Georgia thing proves that, yes, it does, and so bands like this are still necessary. So, can the record also prove me wrong? Let's find out. Off the top, I was like, here we go. In the name of God, starts, ends, and middles with a whole bunch of jibber-jabbering. I understand that sometimes bands want intro tracks, but this is halfway between a song and an intro track, and for someone that doesn't super listen to the band that much, it's kind of just a couple of minutes before I get to find out, am I going to like this record? Then, the second track starts with some great double bass, and then we get some guitars coming in, and I'm like, hey, this is what I wanted to know if this was going to happen. This is super awesome. They create a really big track here. It's huge. And the thing I was most impressed about is there are female choral vocals on here that sound cool and not lame or cheesy. How'd you guys do that? Tell everybody else how you did that. Then, third track, Heaven and Hell and Fire. Starts with 30 seconds of jibber-jabbering again. And then we have 30 seconds of building Gregorian chant. And I'm like, here we go. Whole lot happening for not a lot of payoff. And hey, I'm wrong again. We got a great riff at the core of it. We've got some compelling vocals and awesome drums. I'm happy to be wrong if this is what being wrong means. And yeah, a lot of my initial reaction was my fault of bringing in a bias. The instant I started trusting the album rewarded me. Fire, God, and Fear. Just one and this time. It has a great solo towards the end of the track that the whole kind of thing builds to, and despite the fact that it's only at the end of the track, it dominates the whole song in my mind, and I'm like, hey, that's a good song. Cool. And hey, by the end of the album, I was even on board with the yippity-yapping. In The Raven, there's talking over the whole thing, and instead of bothering me, it blended really well with the guitars and the tom-heavy drumming, and I was really impressed that someone was able to take The Raven, which is obviously a very cool story, but obviously one of the most overdone pieces of literature in existence, and make something cool, unique, and original with it. They managed to wring some new life out of, which just goes to show you, good art just needs other good artists to do cool thing with, so hats off for that, guys. Saki said he focused more on the guitars on this album because he felt guitars were missing on the previous album, and I have to agree. This is a really cool guitar-based album. There's a lot of super awesome riffs that kind kind of really reward you through multiple listens. And I would suggest listening to it multiple times because it's definitely an album. You can't really just pick out a song and go, this is what the whole album sounds like and this is my impression of it. It took me a few listens before I noticed that the track after Fire, God, and Fear was also awesome. You know, it's not until I heard it enough to go, oh hey, this track's awesome too. But ultimately, there's always going to be something you don't like about a record, and let's see, what did I not like about this record? I don't know if I made this clear. There is too much talking on this record. There is like a Weed Eater album of unnecessary nonsense going on. It's too much. I understand this is a concept album about heretics, and they're trying to also communicate some information, but that brings me to my next point. While I will admit they did great things with the subject matter, like I said, doing something cool with the Raven. What? But I would have liked a little bit of some kind of obscure heretics, some juicy kind of stuff that makes me go like, hey, who's that? Do a little Wikipediaing and then have a cool thing to talk about with my friends. Like, you know, a Church of Misery record where, yeah, sure, Gacy's on there, but then there's some weird pervert you never heard of that you gotta look up and you go, damn, that guy's messed up. The last thing I'd say is right in the middle of the record, I Believe is a dud, and it kind of sucks that it's placed where it is. It's just really too basic of a black metal song for a band that's really shown me that they can do a lot more. So hey, I was wrong. Yay for everybody. It's a really cool record. I know I normally prefer my black metal atmospheric, weird, washed out nonsense, but the thing about Rotting Christ is when they go big on this album, it's big and it's awesome, and that's really something not a lot of bands can compete with. So cool. Yes, if I look at the record close up, there's certain things that I can find that I don't like, but ultimately when the record finishes, the feeling I have is, hey, I enjoyed that. I'd like to listen to it again. And I think if you get it, it's probably the way you're going to feel as well. So that's why I'm giving it 4 out of 5 skulls that do talk too much. Yeah. So hey, shoutouts. Everybody loves shoutouts. There's a couple cool ones for you. Please, please, please. I didn't get to review it, but it's super cool. Ossuarium put out Living Tomb on 20 bucks spin a couple weeks ago. Really fun Death Doom record. I really like it a lot. I think you will too. Check that out. As always, we love supporting our Canadian boys. Seer put Volume 6 out on Artifact Records. Some cool, sludgy, doomy stuff. Definitely give that a listen. And finally, Soar put out Forgotten Paths on Avant-Garde Music. And hey, one last thing. My shirt. Astrophobos. You might recognize them from, hey, the Metal Monthly in January. They sent me this shirt. It's some awesome black metal as well if you haven't checked it out yet. Thanks, guys. Give them a thanks by heading over and giving them a listen. Wait, quick. Hey, hold up. We've got a contest for our Patreon donors. Yeah, don't go anywhere yet. There's a contest. It's real simple. Thanks to Season of Mist and Rotting Christ, they sent us a sweet prize pack. In the prize pack, we've got the new album, Book of Spells, which is their compilation album, a Rotting Christ t-shirt, and a cool window car decal of the logo. So hey, how do you get this stuff? It's actually pretty simple. Any of our $10 and up Patreon donors, all you need to do is head over to this review on the Patreon page, and below it, just comment, was Blayne right or was Blayne wrong? Just go do that. We'll put all the names in a hat, pick one random winner, and send it off to you. So hey, that's it. Hope you're happy. I'm happy. Hey, see you next time.